To what should come as no surprise at this point, the shining beauty once again dominated and defeated another weak, insignificant opponent. Tonight, it was a dumb rookie who needed to be put in her place. Velvet Rodriguez, you stupid little girl. The biggest mistake you have made in your young career was trying to step to me. I have already put down way better opponents in the past, yet you actually believed that you, out of anyone, stood a chance against me? Pathetic. This seems to be a running theme in the MWE's women's division and is starting to piss me off. When will everyone learn that I am the most dominant woman on this roster? There's not a single woman in the locker room that has what it takes to step up against me. And for everyone that has, the outcome is always the same. Mommy Madison coming out on top and standing victorious. I mean, take a look at some of my inferior competitions. We've got women like that lucha loser, Il Nitro, and that wannabe badass Sonya Smith, who keeps losing match after match. There's that stupid tag team VNE, who I beat a few months back. To you two untalented losers, Stephanie and Mona, know that you guys teaming up doesn't make you any better. Two wrongs don't make a right. Then there is my favorite little victim, that big red crybaby Ruby Royce. She's the biggest example of what happens when you make an enemy out of me. Of course, we have the most recent subject of my wrath, Velvet Rodriguez, who I embarrassed tonight and made her live Pandemonium debut a nightmare she will never live down. And speaking of, I will say this. Your loss tonight wasn't entirely your fault. You lack skill because you have been under poor leadership. You have been getting trained by one of the most pathetic women in this whole company, and that's Spectra. Spectra is a failure in every sense of the word. She has what? 1 or 2 important victories? She's squandered every major opportunity she's had during her career, just like the Battle Royal last week, and just like the Royal Rumble, and just like at Turning Point, where she actually had a one-on-one match for the women's title against Alexa Kendrick. She was even allowed to use weapons on Alexa and still couldn't get the job done. I mean, come on! And this is the woman who's training the new female talent? Well, if that's the case, then those girls are being set up for failure. You know what they say? Losers breed losers. And Spectra is way too untalented to be.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Who the hell do you think you are? First off, how dare you talk lowly about Spectra? She is one of the most talented wrestlers in MWE. And even more so, she's a great human being, taking the time out of her busy schedule to help me and the other rookies learn and grow as competitors. It's obvious being a good person is something you know nothing about. Also, you're being very hypocritical right now, talking about all of Spectra's shortcomings when you've had just as many yourself. For starters, you also lost that Battle Royal last week. In fact, Spectra lasted way longer than you, since you were the third person being eliminated. You lost the Royal Rumble match as well, and I don't want to hear about how you made it to the final too. A loss is still a loss. Don't try and twist it to fit your stupid narrative. And you want to talk about how Spectra lost her singles championship match against Alexa? Well, if I remember correctly, didn't Alexa beat you to win the belt in the first place? If I were you, Mary, I would stop throwing stones from that glass house of yours. But defending Spectra isn't the only reason I'm here. Last week, you barged into our wrestling practice and attacked everyone, including me. If you thought you were going to get away with it, then you've got another thing coming. Because I'm here to challenge you to a one-on-one match next week on Pandemonium to give you the beating you deserve and teach you a lesson on what happens when you try to bully us new talent. You may have gotten the better of Velvet, but I'm going to kick your head in next week and put the whole world on notice when I, a rookie, beat the overhyped and insecure little rat that is Mary Madison.
Oh, is that so? You're going to teach me a lesson? You're either really brave or completely delusional for thinking you even stand a chance against me. But this proves that you and the rest of the roster have yet to heed my words, so I accept your puny challenge. I'm going to tear you apart next week and turn you into yet another example of what happens when you cross Mommy Madison. And once I'm done, I will send your mangled, broken body back to your little mentor Spectra so she can see the product of her pathetic training. See you next week, kid. Get ready for the worst night of your life.
You all saw my interference in the chaos surrounding the MWE title, and that's because I am aiming to become the new champion. Every time I step into the ring, I steal the show. Fans light up when they see me perform in the squared circle. But since my return, I have faced setbacks that kept me from becoming a bigger star. Now, it's time to show the world what Youngblood is truly capable of. Which brings me here to lay out a challenge to one of the guys caught in that chaos, and that's Brendan X. We have a history from the old days of DSW. Back then, my arrogance led me nowhere, while you, Brendan, worked tirelessly in the UCT to become the man that you are today, one of the biggest wrestlers around. I respect the dedication and the determination it took for you to earn your reputation and status. But next week, I'm looking to settle the score and finally beat you fair and square in that ring. And DJ Hero, once I'm done with Brendan, our matters will be settled and I'll be standing tall as the new MWE champion.
She thinks she can show off at my expense like that? Not a bloody chance, mate. Over my dead body.
Hey, Nico. We saw what went down tonight between you and my Alanias. Do you have any words about the situation?
Words? Ha! I've got plenty to say. It's one thing to interrupt me and throw out a challenge, but it's a whole different story to lay a finger on me and then claim you are the most powerful and legit female talent on this roster, and that's absolute rubbish. But you know what? I'd rather say all of this to her face next week. That big gorilla thinks she can mess with the bullet and flex on me? Hell no!
You know, for someone who likes to bring up the history of his quote-unquote targets, I'm surprised you didn't brought up your own history, because yours isn't even better than mine. So let me do this on behalf of your majesty. Madness, back in DSW, you were a big loser, taking loss after loss, left and right from everyone. You got a broken back, got released, then returned with this cult leader persona, claiming yourself as the gospel of the term insanity here. It may worked on Venom, Crazy Boy, and Magnifico, but it won't work on me. Now that you cost me my MWE title, I'm aiming to fill the void you caused and take your MWE United States Championship from you. And since last year I missed WrestleMania, this year I'll have my moment at the grandest stage and become the new MWE US Champion, and your lackeys won't be able to save you from me.
Jesus Christ, he did a number on you. No, wait, Ron, don't get up. Just lay down and rest.
Amy, what the hell? Where were you? I just got my ass handed to me, and you would say you would be by my side.
Ruby, since you didn't obviously notice, I got blindsided by Alexa. That's why I wasn't out there.
How is that my problem? How is it that I'm always there for you, no matter what, but you can't find the decency to walk it off and help me?
Listen here, you plastic red-headed bimbo bitch. You got about 5 seconds to get your trifling ass on out of here before I do something I ain't gonna regret.
Jeez, what's your deal?
1,
Oh, come on, are you serious?
2,
Ruby, please just leave.
3.
I do not know why you are being such an asshole right now. I haven't done anything wrong.
4.
Fine, I am leaving. Jeez, get some anger management classes in while you are at it.
Why has she been such a bitch lately?
Ron, is it possible that may I ask for a couple questions?
Mac, I don't think that is the right time to do this.
Yeah, go ahead. I tolerate you enough, so what do you have for me?
After what happened during tonight's episode of Pandemonium and what Johnny did to you,
Well, now that you mention it, I'm gonna stop you right there and take the lead on this one. Johnny, I hope you listen to this very, very carefully, because I won't repeat myself again. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Extreme has shown everyone, including myself, what type of person he really is. A coward. His true colors have now been shown, and his plan to hold MWE hostage has now been exposed. Johnny, you want to call yourself the devil's favorite demon, but I found it very funny that at one time, you were a demon. A persona you used for years just only to get your ass sent straight down to hell by Rogan Rex himself. You were a weak individual in the past, but then you had adapted into the man you are today. But it looks like old habits are coming back to you, isn't it? I ain't scared to look at Satan himself and spit in his face. But again, it's funny to me how you brought up me being in a dark place means it will bring out a side of me that is ready to make even the fearless fear for the first time. Because now, Jonathan, you managed to do so. And just like I had retaliation fear for their lives and I stripped them off the tag titles, I'll do the same thing and take your world title and get rid of you once and for all. Because maybe you're the best of the best, but this won't mean any damn thing once I go into that dark place. And the next time I see you, I'm gonna return you the favor and leave you a bloody mess. Tonight, yeah, you made an example out of me. But everyone's biggest mistake to do around here is leaving me breathing. Because now, Johnny, this is just more than just a championship. This is about me beating the absolute hell out of you for everything you not only have done to me, but to Zayn and Amy. Now, this is personal.